It is the most congested roadway in the country, according to a pre-pandemic survey. But it could eventually look like this.
Children need parks. They need to be able to run and play.
The neighborhood needs it, so we'd be perfect for having more kids.
Residents of the Central Bronx respond to the latest developments in a proposal to cover all of the expressway with parkland. It's an idea that's been considered for about 5 years, but now
we are as close as we've ever been.
Richie Torres talks about the newly passed $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. It contains $110 billion for roadway improvements, which could include capping or building over the Cross Bronx with park space. It would end up looking like the so-called Big Dig project in Boston. It cost a whopping $24 billion, but resulted in 1.5 miles of open space and parkland. The Cross Bronx project would be different, says Torres.
We're proposing simply to cap the 2.5 miles of the Cross Bronx Expressway that are beneath ground, that are already underground. So that's a much simpler solution.
A solution to many things, including the highest asthma rate in the country here, as well as something Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, a supporter, has mentioned, along with Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
Highways that have cut communities in two.
Communities cut in two. But for 2 blocks of it, there's this. A park and a playground were built over the expressway. It has vents to release fumes from the traffic below. Torres wants to expand this 100-fold. It'll require venting systems like this on a much grander, more sophisticated scale.
But then you also have to install electrostatic filters that prevent the exhaust from polluting the air.
And in the new bipartisan infrastructure measure, there are at least 2 federal programs that would help to finance the covering of the Cross Bronx with parkland. One of those programs the state of New York has already applied for. It would be a feasibility study to see just if this actually can happen. Look, if it can, we're still talking a decade away or maybe much longer. But as Torres, and maybe more important, the Majority Leader Schumer and the Transportation Secretary all point out, this is a real start. Reporting live from the Crotona Park section of the Bronx, I'm James Ford, Pix 11 News.